many of us who love working the night shift, or do we? Is it good for our health? And what do we do to survive it? Those that work overnight, those that work shift work or any kind of shift work. We bring in Roger Sutherland from A Healthy Shift. Rog has, as you probably know, creator of Shift Work Champions, trademarked. Roger is a shift work performance fatigue risk specialist. 40 years frontline working as a former copper in Victoria, and now does all these talks and amazing things. Rog, nice to see you.
Good morning.
What time did your alarm go off?
It went off at 3:30 this morning.
Pretty good.
In my Oslo sleep buds, so that the beautiful Melissa could stay asleep.
And so she doesn't hear the alarm.
She doesn't. That's the beauty of the sleep buds, the Oslo sleep buds. If you're a shift worker, they are really good. They play a white noise, which helps you to, your brain focuses on the white noise, and you don't hear anything outside of that. Really good.
So what's the difference between that and, say, Apple Buds, for example?
Oh, they sit right in your ear. They're very soft and they sit right in your ear.
So this one over your ears.
Those people that walk around with toothbrush heads hanging out of their head, I've never quite understood that.
What?
Well, that's what they are, toothbrush heads. Now that I've said that, you can't unsee it.
No. So
I see everyone walking around the city with toothbrush heads.
Yeah.
I want to know, is that a safe place to keep them or what?
Yeah. Well, have you ever worn a pair?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this sounds fantastic.
Yes. Well, I'm not an Apple person, so I don't use those. But overnight for our shift workers, the Oslo sleep buds are just absolutely superb. They've just released version 2 of them. What I love is because if you are slightly neurodivergent or you have problems calming your brain to sleep, the Oslo sleep buds, you can play a Spotify playlist. I play an EMDR, which is a type of wavelength that goes left to right, right to left to right, backwards and forwards.
Across the buds?
Between the right and left. And what it does is it actually centres your brain and it calms you right down, ready for sleep. And then as soon as you go to sleep, they register that you've gone to sleep. They go across and they just play a white noise. And the good thing is if you are a shift worker and you're sleeping with a partner, what happens is the sleep bud actually literally just flicks over to the alarm in your own ear. No one else can hear it. And then you just gradually just get up and disappear out of the room and turn up at 3AW at 4:30 in the morning.
Easy.
It's too easy.
Easy.
Yeah, too easy.
What are we going to talk about? We got lots of things to
I want to ask you, when have you had your last blood test?
I'm thinking probably a bit less than 12 months.
Yeah, really good.
And
it was so
purely for no particular reason, just to test.
But we should.
Yeah.
I go every 6 months. I have my bloods done every 6 months. I get a full panel done. As a long-term shift worker, it's something that is super important to keep an eye on your bloods. Everybody should be. Look, we're so blessed here in Australia that we can get a blood test done every 6 months. It doesn't cost us anything at all. All you got to do is go and see your doctor and ask for a referral and say, I just want to get a full panel of bloods done. There's a number of reasons why we as shift workers should be getting our bloods done, or even people who are awake overnight or starting early, just humans. We should be having our bloods checked because as shift workers with that circadian misalignment, it has a massive impact on our biological health in so many ways. Now, let's talk about one in particular while someone sits there snacking on TV snacks overnight.
Not me.
No, not me either.
The other side of the glass.
Could be.
Yeah.
Rumour has it.
I had, in fairness, I'd been off him for a long time, and then last week I capitulated once. Was it last week, Jay? Where I had 2 or 3 of his TV snacks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of the problems that we have is, did you find that you were just craving sweetness? Like you just wanted a bit of sweetness? Or
no, probably because, in fairness to Jay, because A, they were there, and because they were there, so it was easy to have.
Yep, and that's it. Yeah. It's boredom. On night shift, for a lot of people, we eat out of boredom. One of the problems that we do have is overnight we are, and I'm not going to go into the whole science, but we're incredibly insulin resistant, right? Now, insulin is what is secreted by the pancreas and shuttles glucose into our muscle to be burnt. It's like the bus carrier, right? So when we eat anything like anything that's a carbohydrate, what happens is it converts to glucose in our bloodstream, and then the pancreas goes, oh, we've got sugar in our bloodstream. We must shuttle that into the muscle to be burnt. But unfortunately, overnight, our muscle is closed and it doesn't allow the glucose to go into the muscle to be burnt. Now, one of the reasons why we need a blood test as a night shift worker, and we should be, is we need to keep an eye on our HbA1c, which is a mark of glucose in our bloodstream. Elevated HbA1c leads to diabetes, right? And we have to be extremely careful because the incidence of people who are awake overnight and shift work and diabetes is enormous. In fact, even me, and I'm fairly healthy and fit, was almost pre-diabetic at one stage.
Because of the overnight work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not because of...
because of the overnight, because insulin resistance, and it's what we eat. You know, we can get to the stage where we just snack on things. One thing I want people to know is when you eat, like during the biological
Don't people
night,
snack during the day, mate?
Yeah, but it's different because your body processes, metabolizes and stores nutrients different at 2 o'clock in the afternoon than it does at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So we are more efficient. Our body is more efficient to process nutrients that we consume in the morning between like 6 a.m. and midday. And then it starts to taper off later in the day. Then overnight, our body becomes insulin resistant. It actually goes into a rest mode, even though we're awake. So what happens is whatever we eat tends to go straight to body fat. And you notice that shift workers gain a lot of weight all the time. So what we do is we got to try and avoid eating things that are going to cause us problems overnight. And the blood test is something that keeps an eye on our blood glucose levels.
Don't we know a lot of that, though, intellectually? We just don't necessarily live it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We all a lot of us know, we shouldn't be eating overnight. Although, having said that, I'm in the Reddit group, or in a Reddit group of night shift workers.
Oh, really? Should I join?
No.
Oh, I
It's a
shouldn't.
dumpster fire. And I look at it as
That's
what...
social media. Social media is a rubbish bin.
But the thing is, people seek help and get help. I need social media for my business. I have to have social media.
But it's a
because
rubbish
you've got to reach it. Well, it depends on how you use it. Yeah, it is. It's very, very confusing. And in fact, coming out of 5 o'clock, I want to talk about what is the best diet. What is the best diet for us as a shift worker to have? And the reason
As
why
an overnight worker or a shift worker per se?
as a shift worker per se, or as an overnight worker, anyone that works overnight is a shift worker. But what is the best diet? And I want to talk about that because, as you've said, social media is a dumpster fire, and so many people are confused. Should I do this diet? Should I do that diet? What diet should I do? What does Karen do? Karen does this diet and Jenny does another diet and that works for her and you try it and it doesn't work. But the question that I've got today, and I want people to call us on 133693, when did you have a last blood test and did it pick anything up in the blood test? Because shift workers get very, very used to just feeling ordinary and tired, and it masks a lot of health issues like cardiovascular disease. We can have we feel really tired all the time. We don't get the sunlight. Vitamin D is something that needs to be checked because we can only really get the vitamin D from the sun. Iron for females, for all of us as shift workers, iron deficiency is huge.
So important, as we talked about before.
And menstruating females as well, vitamin D iron is a massive issue. And a lot of women say, I'm so tired. Well, they're iron deficient, so we need to get that checked. Thyroid problems that people have can look like shift work problems as well. So many issues. And we should keep our bloods checked all the time because it gives us a baseline to work off. So a doctor can then be comparing it to the last time. Like, I know, for argument's sake, I had a very high PSA, which is the protein in the blood that indicates prostate cancer. And I had a very, very high PSA. I still throw an extremely high PSA. But I've had biopsies and it's been checked over and over again. There's no cancer there, but it gives us a baseline. We know, because if another doctor was to look at mine, he'd go, oh my God, this is a massive problem. So having that blood test done regularly gives you a baseline that you can compare to from one test to the next.
And no symptoms because of that?
None. I have no symptoms. It was picked up when I was 40. And I still get my bloods done every 6 months to check my PSA. And we watch for a spike on the elevated level. I've just got a high PSA.
Jan says, those buds you were talking about, what was the brand?
Oslo. It's OZLO. OZLO, and you can if you just put in Oslo
Price point?
sleep buds, they're expensive. They're in the order. They're on sale at the moment. The new ones, they're just under $500. Yes,
Jan says about that too. About 500.
yeah. If people go to my website at healthyshift.com, up the top there's resources. If you go into the recommended products, and you can see all of the products that I recommend that I've tested and used, the Oslo Sleep Buds are right there. Something that I use every night, regardless of whether I need an alarm or not. If you are neurodivergent or you've got ADHD and you have trouble shutting down, these are incredible. They're soft. They sit in your ear. They're very, very comfortable, unlike the other buds that people wear that hang out of your ear, or
What do you call it?
toothbrush heads.
Toothbrush.
Now that I've told you that, you can't unsee
No,
it.
I can't. Because people now wear them on TV.
I know.
When they're doing sort of
And
conferences.
podcasts. I see people doing podcasts
Yeah.
with them in, and I think, oh, no. Speaking of podcasts, episode 400 this morning for me. Episode 400 of my podcast.
Big round of applause. That's a great
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, here's the question I have about podcasts at the moment.
Yes,
Is
go.
there a person in Australia that doesn't have a podcast?
Have you got a podcast? Oh, well, I suppose you do, don't you? Because they
Everybody
play
has
this
a
one back.
podcast. When do people get time to listen to every single podcast?
Well, they don't, but they choose the topic of their
the topics
choice.
they want.
See, like mine is the only shift working podcast out there. So if people want to pick up tips and hints and ways to go about shift work, you need to be listening to A Healthy Shift, the Shift Work podcast.
Michael says, really love Roger's segment. So much information, great information. One of the best segments on radio.
I really appreciate
haven't
that,
even
Michael.
started
Thank
yet.
you so much.
Very
We've just
kind.
kicked off.
Blood test. When did you have your last blood test? Come and join us, 133693. And is that topic 2 for this segment?
Topic 2 is the things that impact on sleep. Like what is it that impacts us? And there's some really, really interesting.
Well, usually the
things.
lack of sleep. Probably.
So, yeah, if people want to call us on 133693 as well and tell me why they can't sleep, and let's try and break it down and help you with it.
Come and join us, 133693, as Roger said. Or you can send a text, 0477 693 693. Yes, thank you for all these callers. Keep them coming. You'll get through straight away. 133693 is our telephone number. In particular, the blood test. I'm not sure it's a yes or no answer with the blood test, I guess. But so the idea of having a regular blood test for everybody
Yes.
is high on the agenda. Or should be high on the agenda.
It really should be. Just go and see your doctor and get a referral and get one done so that you've got a baseline, something for the doctor to look at, because there can be so many issues going on. Like a lot of shift workers out there say, I can't sleep. I don't sleep. I've got a problem, right? But do you know what? Sometimes it's not actually the shift work that's causing the problem. They might have sleep apnea. They could have insomnia. And these things can actually be addressed. And we have research that shows us that a lot of sleep problems, a lot of shift workers literally just put it down, I'm a shift worker, instead of actually addressing or having the problem looked at. Sleep apnea is huge now.
What about tradies that are about to jump into their Hilux this morning?
Yeah, well, the tradies are the same. They should still be getting those blood tests done. Like, it's for, they've probably been up since 4:15. They'll zip by the 7-Eleven and grab their sausage roll and their Big M, spike the blood sugar.
Not ideal.
Oh, a long way from ideal. Like a long way from ideal.
Okay, we always say occasionally, but not on a regular basis.
No. But the thing is, what a lot of people don't realise is the first thing that you eat in the morning actually sets you up for the day. And a lot of people will grab a piece of toast with some jam or honey and off they go with their coffee and have it on their lap in the car on the way to work. But what the problem that you have with that is, yes, it gets you up and about and you get the sugar spike and it gets you going. But then you crash so hard that you find yourself snacking through the rest of the day.
I agree with that.
And that's why, having some overnight oats is an ideal thing so that you can grab it, you can still eat it on the way, or you can do whatever. Very, very simple.
I have an annual blood test for the annual checkups at least the last 50 years, certainly earlier this year.
Excellent
We were
work,
talking
Alan.
in the program last week or the week before about donating blood. Have you donated blood?
I'm not allowed to.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to. When I say I'm not allowed to, I went and I'm on a monthly medication for an autoimmune disease, and which has probably come out of shift work as well. But I'm on a medication and they won't allow me to donate. But Melissa donates regularly.
Good girl.
Yep, regularly.
Meredith, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm well. Say hello to Roger.
Good morning, Meredith.
Hello, Roger. I'm getting off food. I want to tell you what I did Saturday night.
What did you do Saturday night?
I went to see Mark Anthony as always.
Oh, was it just wonderful?
Oh,
As
God,
good as
he's
you would have hoped.
unbelievable, that
Now, Mark
guy.
Anthony, for those that may not necessarily know, does the amazing Elvis Presley.
Yeah, he's tremendous. He really is.
But you'd seen him before, hadn't you?
About 9 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, he'd been doing it for 22 years. He said, and this is his final show and everything. And
Final show or final season?
no, finally, he's not doing it anymore after this.
Oh, so that was the other night was his last show?
Yep.
Ever?
Unfortunately, he might make a comeback later, but 22 years doing it, you wear yourself out a bit.
Well, yes, you would. You certainly would. Meredith, I'm pleased you enjoyed it. Well done, and thank you for letting us know. One of the great artists doing Elvis Presley. You're a great fan of Elvis Presley?
Very much so. My mum's is a big fan of the Elvis impersonator. I'm not sure of his surname, but his name's Damien. And she talks about him. They go and follow him around everywhere. Through COVID, he was doing live shows. He was doing live shows on Facebook for them and things like that. So it survived through COVID with that. And now, he's got bigger and bigger and bigger now. It's quite large. But,
blood tests, I have an annual blood test for checkup at least, we've read that one.
every
thank
50
you.
years.
Yeah, well done.
But when you had your last one in the last 12, did it show anything
less
at all?
than 12 months.
Because
No,
you've been
pretty
doing the
good.
show now for the last few years.
3.5?
3.5 years. 3.5. 2.5. 3.5. So I've been doing this 3.5 because I came in just after
Pretty
the first
early.
show.
You came in pretty early. You might have been 3, yeah.
You started just before the Christmas and I came in just after Christmas,
That's
I
right.
think. Okay, my goodness, we've been doing this a long time,
I know.
haven't we
Trying to get away with it. We're
Yeah.
getting away
No,
with
we
it.
are getting away
We're
with
getting
it.
away with it.
Don't you? Do you ever sit here and just wait for the door to open and the police to come in?
Well, I'm waiting
as
for the
a-
door to open. I'm thinking
as
that I
a-
might put my hand
as
up
an imposter?
to host the Today Show on 9 next year.
No, not controversial enough.
Huh?
You don't lean either way. You're not controversial enough.
Well, you've got to be middle ground, don't
Oh,
you?
well, they tell you what to say anyway on the commercial networks.
Holy dooly.
Yeah,
Do
well,
they?
yeah,
Do
they
they?
absolutely they do. They tell you what you can't say. How did I get there?
How did you get there?
Ask Carl. Carl Stefanovic is adamant that he was not allowed to speak about certain topics in certain ways because it would have cost him his job. He knew that. So don't tell me that the commercial media is not manipulated in that way that it can't get a clear message out or an opinion. It is an opinion. You've got to remember, everyone's got an opinion.
And it, like a bottom.
Everyone.
Everybody
well,
has
yes,
one.
we were going to say that.
Thank
But
you.
everyone's got an opinion.
Cleaned that up beautifully. It's Australia Overnight.
Now, this is Australia Overnight with Tony McManus.
Roger Sutherland, who comes in every couple of weeks and talks all things to do with a little bit of health, little bit of ideas of getting around the idea of being a shift worker. If you have just tuned in for the first time, nice to have your company. I'm Tony Mac. Melbourne, just over 9 degrees. Foggy. Was it foggy when you were driving in? No fog.
Beautiful.
Fog and then mainly sunny. Perth 14, so 15 degrees at the top of 20. And Adelaide, hello to you, 14 degrees at the top of 18, maybe a shower or two. Fog, if you see any fog out where you are, let us know, 133 693. Paul, good morning.
If today's episode has made you stop and think, that's exactly why this podcast exists. At A Healthy Shift, we help organisations build shift work capability from within through evidence-based education and the A Healthy Shift Shift Work Champions framework. The goal isn't simply to help people survive shift work. It's to help them thrive while creating healthier people, stronger teams, and safer, higher performing organisations. If you're ready to rethink how your organisation supports people working in a 24/7 environment, I'd love to continue the conversation. So visit ahealthyshift.com or connect with me on LinkedIn by searching Roger Sutherland. Now, back to today's episode.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. I'm a chauffeur driver, so I'm like an irregular shift worker, as in like this morning at 2:30, 4:30, 6 a.m., 8 a.m. pickups going in and then a break and then working a bit later tonight, a bit of a regular sleep and whatever, and different mornings and nights. But I managed to eat well and limit my caffeine intake and whatever. I'm pretty good with that. But what I want to ask you, I'm 62.
Yep.
I'm getting pumped regularly now with these ads, for these concoction drinks that have got NMAs and vitamins and this and that. I won't use the brand names, but you know what I'm talking about,
I
don't
do.
you? What do you think of them?
No, I don't. No, I don't agree with them. I'll tell you, I don't. Thanks for your call, Paul. And you are a traditional shift worker, not a sort of, because anyone working outside of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., any hours, if you work more than 2 hours outside of those hours, then you're a designated shift worker. So you are a shift worker. In fact, you're a night shift worker working the time that you work. Don't get sucked into all of those sort of things, Paul. Avoid them. The only things, what I would do...
Because why?
Because there's no robust evidence behind them. The evidence is quite skewed towards selling a product. I think if someone's sitting there and talking about something and saying that there's a problem and creates... A lot of marketing is they create a problem for you and then sell you the solution for it. That's the marketing. That's the way it goes. So what I would do is be careful. One thing that I would say, and this is not something that I do sell, have you tried creatine, Paul? Are you taking creatine on the regular?
I actually do take it on a regular basis because I'm lucky enough that I go to the gym at least sort of 4 or 5 times a week.
Fabulous.
And I know the value of it. And someone told me even when you're not going to the gym, take it because it's then good for your brain or something like that. So...
Okay, so the thing that we want, or the thing that we really want you to do, or I would suggest, give it a try. When you are going into those nights, or you've got a situation where you know you've got to get up at 2:30 and you are struggling, you know that you're going to be struggling cognitively, double or even triple your dose of creatine overnight. So instead of taking you take normally just 1 scoop of creatine at 5 grams, 3 to 5 grams?
Correct.
Yeah, so double or triple that. Now, you can spread that out over the day, but if you double or triple that, you'll find that you'll get a benefit of it cognitively on your brain. You won't feel so brain fogged. And the reason why this happens is because creatine is the energy currency of the cell, and we don't get enough to our brain. And when we're really struggling, taking creatine and having that go in and taking more of it, it crosses the blood-brain barrier and helps with the energy currency of the cells in the brain. And it can make a big difference to people. Now, I would suggest that people drink a lot more water. If you're going to be taking creatine, you need to drink a lot more water because creatine drags water into the cell. And that's the idea of it, and that's what it actually does.
So for those that don't know, you're talking about, we don't know what you're talking about.
Creatine monohydrate.
What is it?
It's a powder. It's a creatine monohydrate. It's the most researched and ethically safe. And anyone that's got, and I would say seek medical advice, obviously, as we do, seek medical advice for your situation. But particularly females as well. Creatine stores in a female drop off significantly as they go over 40 towards that perimenopause time, and so by supplementing creatine monohydrate can actually make a massive difference to female health and how they feel around brain fog and that fatigue in the afternoon, and also there's a lot of evidence around this now, a lot of evidence around creatine and its benefit. It's not just a gym bro powder that people take. So creatine is one, fish oil is another one, and vitamin D are the three. They're the only three that I really recommend. The rest of it's very, very sketchy evidence behind a lot of the others.
Good on you, Paul. Keep in touch. Thank you for your call.
Thank you for your call, Paul.
Yeah,
That's
well
excellent.
done. 133693. So what we're talking about now is...
The best diet.
The best diet, but is it one size fits all?
I think, I'll say this to start off with. I think the best diet that anyone can be on is the one you can stick to. That's the best diet. Now, you
Which
might
could
say...
be a big bowl of Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, well, if you can stick to that, right? Now, the idea is that we want to be intelligent about it. Like, we want to make sure that we're eating well. But a lot of people, like, we look on social media and everyone's very concerned about weight because social media now gives us this body phobia, this body dysmorphia. Oh, I've got to look like that. I need to look like her. I need to look like him. One of the biggest problems that we have today is that, how we're supposed to look. We need to look that way. Now, we don't want visceral fat around our gut, that internal fat. We don't want that belly, that fat around our waist, because as shift workers, we really struggle with that. That's where the fat goes. But it's the fat around the organs that are really damaging. It creates inflammation. It causes us all sorts of problems through the gut. So what's the best diet? Well, the one that you can stick to, because a lot of people go on to fad diets. Oh, Karen's doing that. I must go and do that diet. It's keto. So you cut all your carbs out and you just do fats and high protein and, oh, that works. It works for Karen. And 2 weeks later, you can't stick to it because you feel angry. And of course you're going to feel angry because you've got no carbohydrates in your system. And then another person says, oh, you've got to do the carnivore diet. So we go and try the carnivore diet. We stick with that for a week. And
That
we
become a
can't
bit
maintain
trendy,
that.
though.
It's very trendy,
fad.
But they're all trendy. They're all trendy. But the Mediterranean style of eating is the evidence supports it.
Fab.
It is absolutely the best. What we want is we want fish and poultry. We want vegetables. We want fruits and vegetables, and we want extra virgin olive oil, healthy fats in our diet, and we want meat maybe once or twice a week at the maximum. That's the Mediterranean style of eating.
For years, though, Roger, we've been bombarded
with rubbish
every day.
And every
day.
But they're creating a problem for you and selling you the solution again. So what they're doing is they're saying, this is it. Research tells us that this is it. But research consistently only ever tells us that the Mediterranean diet is the most successful diet for what we need to. When I say diet, it's not a diet, it's a style of eating, right? And it is really healthy and very, very good for us. But there's an even better diet over the top of that.
A better.
Yep. And it's called the light diet.
Which is?
Getting daylight during the day and getting sleep in the dark at night.
Yeah.
And that is the best diet that there is. And there's a reason for that. Because it aligns...
That's not a diet. That's a behaviour, isn't it?
Yeah, but we call it the light diet. Get your light diet. People are going off out after diets all the time. If you get your diet of light, you got to remember, dieting is just what we eat, right? It's just whatever it is that you're actually eating, that is your diet, all right? Like humans are omnivorous, so we eat, fruits, vegetables, meats, we eat the whole lot, right? So getting your light diet right, so getting up early and getting early sunlight, daylight, not lights inside. Research shows now that the Americans spend 93% of their time inside under artificial light. Yeah. Now, we've got to remember with artificial light...
And that's a nation going really well at the moment.
Well, there's a problem.
Nation's going so well.
And we talk about an obesity crisis and we say, oh, we've got to cut out carbs and we've got to cut out sugars. What about we get our light diet right? And I'll tell you why. When you get your light diet right, as in you're up and you've got early daylight and you're getting movement and you're controlling stress and you're getting sleep and you're eating earlier in the day instead of later in the day, as you are biologically meant to, all of your hormones balance up in your body. And therefore, you're not craving those sweet foods after hours or things like that. And this is the problem that people have, is they're eating non-stop all day. And into the evening, sitting there watching TV, getting that blue light exposure, the artificial light at night. And that is throwing all of their internal hormones out, which is, I can't stop snacking. I can't stop snacking. I just want to, and that's where you're off grabbing the block of chocolate or you got the cheese platter out or you're
so
drinking.
easy. And it's so accessible.
And it's so accessible.
So accessible.
And we've got to the stage now where you don't even have to leave the couch. You just pick up your phone.
And it arrives at the front door.
And it arrives at the front
Oh,
door.
we love it. What a great world in which we live. 133693. So what would you imagine? Be fascinated to find out from people who would be brutally honest.
How much daylight?
How much daylight and what is their current diet?
Yeah. How
That'd
bad?
be tricky.
Yeah.
Or-
Not eating.
Yeah. 133693. And the other, thank you. Nice to have your company. If you've just joined us, so Roger Sutherland from A Healthy Shift is here. We catch up with Roger every couple of weeks or so and talk about how we behave, what we're like, what we're eating, what we're not eating when you're working really strange, interesting hours. And there are many people listening now who are working shift work. They're either coming home, getting up nice and early, whatever the case may be. Harvey Kilmore, morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm a shift worker. I've been a shift worker for 20 years. I'm a security officer.
Well
I
done,
work
Harvey.
in a gatehouse.
Yep.
I'm a security.
Yes.
I work in a gatehouse. I have rotational shift. So I can work, for instance, I'm working tonight, Monday and Tuesday. Then I have 3 days off, and then I work Saturday and Sunday day shift. I don't have any problems with my health. I've been listening to the diet recommended.
Yes.
I do exactly that. I have fish, poultry, and meat during the week.
Yep.
I walk my dog for an hour and a half on when I'm not working night shift every day. I get plenty of sunshine, plenty of exercise. Don't have any health problems. And I'm 77.
Wow.
Teammate, we've got a pin-up boy.
Yeah, we have.
Harvey, you're going to become our night shift pin-up boy. That is, I was just sitting there nodding with every single thing that you said, Harvey. You are absolutely crushing it. When you say you work night shift, what time do you work?
I work 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, well done. So you're doing a 4-on, 4-off rotation?
Well, it's a rotational shift. For instance, tonight I work 12 hours. Tomorrow I work 12 hours. Then I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off.
Yes.
Then I work 12 hours on the weekend. And then I'll have Monday and Tuesday off. And then next week I'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night shift.
Well, everyone needs to listen to Harvey because he is all over it. Well done, Harvey, and that's why you're healthy at your age.
It's
killing it.
It's fantastic.
Killing it.
And when Harvey speaks of it, it's almost a...
It just makes sense.
It makes sense. And
Of course it makes sense, but we don't do it.
Tone in Portland, good morning to you.
Morning, gentlemen. My routine, or our routine, my wife and I, is we're virtually fishing and poultry through the week.
Yep.
Coming from a background of red meat 4 nights a week, that's all changed. But I'm 64, and my day starts at 2 a.m. and it will finish at probably 3 p.m. I'll be in bed at 7 p.m. I don't take any medication. I have my blood done every 12 months.
Good boy.
But occasionally I feel tired, and I've just put it down to the roads being so rough and violent. that you
Mentally
can't go around
exhausted.
all the time.
Isn't it funny? I was going to say to you down in Portland, it'd be like driving on the moon surface down there at the moment.
Oh, yeah, mate, I'm an astronaut sometimes.
Oh, I reckon you would be. The other thing, Tony, I would suggest as well is, because it sounds like you're doing everything right, is give the creatine a go as well at 5 grams every day.
So just spell that slowly for people.
Creatine.
Creatine.
It's Creatine, and it's creatine monohydrate. It doesn't matter what brand or where. If it's creatine monohydrate, it is creatine monohydrate, so it doesn't matter. So if people were to do that, but you might find that will help you with that fatigue when you get to the stage where you are a little tired, Tony. But yeah, you're probably more tired now as you're getting older. And the other thing is too, you're driving on the moon surface down there too. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
very good point. It is the moon surface. Some of those roads, as we well and truly know. G'day, boys. Desperately seeking help with a diet. Age 57, female, around about 86, 88 to 86. Truly struggle with weight loss. Any form of exercise can be tricky. Also have lap band. I'll tell you what, Kate, keep listening. We'll come back with some sort of feedback on that for you the other side of this on Australia Overnight. And 3AW Brekkie with Ross and Russ coming up very shortly, and Tom Elliott just after 8:30. A query from Kay.
Yep.
Losing weight, the only way of being able to lose weight is actually don't eat. That's not the answer either.
No, that is absolutely not the answer because this is a big problem. Kay's got a text message here as well. I see you, Kay. Desperately seeking help, 5'2", short, carries a bit of weight, has PBC and is also sarcopenic. Kate, take the pressure off yourself. Just get out and walk and get daylight. I know you work 9 to 5, but get as much sunshine and daylight as you can and walk. Give yourself a 30-minute challenge every day to get out and walk.
Every day.
Thanks, teammate.
And you've got to make that. We all do, by the way, not just Kay.
Yeah, we
all
have
got
to make an
that
effort.
commitment. We've got to do more.
Take the pressure off. It's no gym. It's about walking. Walk.
Mate. See you in a couple of weeks.
You will.
That is the wonderful, wonderful Roger, and he joins us every couple of weeks. I'm Tony McManus. Have a fantastic Monday. Look forward to your company tonight. 3AW, good morning.